Okay.
All right. We'll go ahead and get started. We're going to lead off with Therese Paler.
Okay.
Hey, Tom, how you doing today?
Hey, how you doing?
Great, man. Hey, look, I was just curious. I talked a little bit to Byron Leftwich earlier about what your relationship was like, how you guys have worked together to build the offense. I was just hoping you could kind of elaborate on, especially with the way the offense has looked the last month and a half, like how did you guys work together, maybe around the bye week, to really craft an offense that really plays on some of your skills, including the play action?
Yeah, I think Byron's done an incredible job, and he's a great guy. We have a great relationship. I've known him for a long time. We're about the same age, and played against him. Always had a lot of respect for him. And then now that we're working together, it's been great. He's got a great work ethic, great football IQ, and it's just been a growing process for both of us and growing together. And when you work together for a long period of time, you start, we begin to see the game very similar. When he's watching film, he thinks, oh, this is what Tom would like, and vice versa. So it's taken some time to get there because we didn't have, obviously, a lot of the things that we normally have with football. And over the last, couple months, we certainly execute a little bit better. And that's a credit to all the coaches, all the players who have really worked hard to get us to the point we're at in this season, which is 6 days to go and 1 game left. And it's for everything. So I'm excited to see what we can come up with for Sunday.
We'll go to Dan Pompey.
How come I don't get to see them at all? Why do I just get to see me? What's up with that, Chris?
Hey, Tom. As you know, you and Michael Jordan both have 6 championships. What do you think of Michael and the possibility of having one more championship than he has?
Well, Michael's one of my sports idols, so I think he's pretty incredible. And I think for me, it's about being a part of a lot of great teams. And to have the opportunity to play in this game means a lot to me. It's a lot of commitment, sacrificed by a lot of guys. And obviously, we're 1 game away from the ultimate goal in this sport. And I've been a part of that ultimate goal 6 other times. So they're all different. They've all meant something a little bit different to me. They've all been very unique in their own way. And it'd just be cool to accomplish it this time. I don't compare them to the other times. Those were all magical moments in my life, and no one could ever take those away from me. And hopefully we can finish this season strong and win a Super Bowl. That's why we're here. That's why we're playing, and make for a really magical season for us.
We'll go to Rob Maddie from AP.
Hey, Tom, to be able to do what you've done requires obviously a ton of discipline and sacrifice. We know about the talent. I know family's important to you, but what are some of the toughest sacrifices that you've had to make along the way to keep doing this at such a high level? And how much longer do you think you could keep making those sacrifices?
Well, I think football for me is obviously been my sport. It's in a career, but it's really become it's part of my daily life, because a lot of the decisions I make I'm always thinking about, how does this impact my football? How does it impact, my off-season training? It's pretty well documented, that the approach that I've taken over a period of time, which certainly didn't all start at once. I think how I work out and how I recover is very important. The work I do with my body coach, Alex, is critical to the success that I've had, and try to incorporate eating a little bit better, as like probably every other kid in high school and every other kid in college, just eating kind of whatever you could to get by. And then understood that was a really important aspect about performing well, was everything that I put into my body, how I took care of my body. I wouldn't say 20 years ago, I thought, man, I'll be sitting there at 43 playing pro football. That would be, not the truth, but I tell you that. I mean, I started thinking, man, I'd love to play pro football and get the opportunity to do it. And I'm going to do it as best I possibly can. And fortunately, I've had the right people come into my life at the right time, which has enabled me to keep doing what I love to do. So it's a lot of support of actually a lot of people. I mean, I do what I do. I put the effort in, but I have a lot of other people who put a lot of effort in too. It's a lot of sacrifices that my family's made over a long period of time. So grateful for their support. I've had a ton of friends that continue to support me, great teammates, coaches. So it really takes a lot of people. This is the ultimate team sport. And, I'm very fortunate to still be able to do it.
We'll go to Danny Heifetz.
Hey, Tom, how you doing today?
Doing great.
You just threw 40 touchdown passes at 43 years old. Do you think other quarterbacks can do that if they take care of their body the way you have?
I mean, anything's possible. Certainly, it's there's a lot of talented players. I think if we go to a 17-game schedule, it gets a little bit easier too. So, it's not many people have played at my age, and I'm hoping that I can give some of that wisdom to some of the younger players who want to do the same types of things. So I think we're always supposed to be better, and as we grow and evolve, and as we learn more, we continue to train better, we eat better, we learn the right techniques, and I hope everyone can reach their potential. That's ultimately what it's all about. That's what I try to do with myself. It wasn't about 40 touchdown passes. It's did I do the best I could do? Did I put in the work every day to put myself in a position to be the best I could for my team? And that's really where my motivation comes from.
We'll go to Greg Allman.
Hey, Tom, you've had a lot of coaches, a lot of new voices this year, but wanted to ask you about Tom Moore and what you've gained from the perspective of everything he's seen in his coaching career.
He's seen a lot, and he's been someone who I looked over at the opposing sideline for a lot of years. So there was a little bit of that this year with Coach Moore and Clyde, some of the guys that I've kind of gone against, and I have a lot of respect for Coach Moore. We had a lot of great conversations about football, and he has great football knowledge. He's kind of a football encyclopedia, and whatever he says, I obviously try to incorporate, whether it's techniques, fundamentals, or how he sees the game, because he's had a lot of success. And, I love hearing different ideas and hearing how different people approach the game. And he's does a great job for us.
We'll go to Ryan Dunleavy.
Tom, I'm wondering what no risk it, no biscuit means to you, and when was the first time you heard that? I assume it was with New England. When was the first time you heard that? What'd you think of that saying? I
heard of it in a press conference, and I've heard it quite a few times this year, and that's referencing BA's approach, and I really love his approach. He's coaches to win, and I don't think there's any fear he has about things not going the right way. I think he has an approach and style, and he wants us to go out there and perform at our best, and he's not going to hold anything back. And if there's an opportunity to take over the game, that's what he's going to do. So, I really enjoyed it, embraced it, and, love going out there, trying to perform for him, perform for this team. And he's done an incredible job for us this year.
We'll go to Nate Burleson.
Hey, what's up, Tom? How you doing?
Nate, I love your show, man. You guys do a great job. Peter and Kay, you guys do a great job, man. Keep it up.
I appreciate that. That means a lot, man. So I'm working on behalf of Extra, so I want to take a little bit of a different spin when I ask you a question. I've talked with Jermaine Wiggins, Randy Moss, Deion Branch, all my former teammates, and yours. And I was always fascinated with your career, being a wide receiver. And the more I hear stories about you, the more it reminds me of the stories I hear about Jordan and Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. And the more I realize that it's okay to be addicted to success, to be obsessed with wanting to be great, to be heads over heel in love with your craft. For your craft, it's football. So it's twofold. One, is it okay to change the connotation of those words? And then two, if you win this game, or the way you think, when you win this game, isn't going to be hard as hell to walk away from it?
I think it's going to be hard to walk away whenever I decide to walk away because it's been a huge part of my life for a long time, and I love thinking about it. I think football to me is much more than just a sport because there's a physical element, there's the mental approach, how you're going to get the job done, and there's the emotional part. And all those things, I've found kind of ways to evolve at different times so that I could maximize my potential. And, I think for an individual player like myself as a quarterback, it's never about what I do. It's really always about what we do because so much of it's being on the same page with my teammates, with the receivers, the tight ends, with the offensive line, with the coaches. And, part of the success and the enjoyment of the success is being able to enjoy that success with everybody because everybody plays a critical role. And there's nothing you can accomplish in football without the support of the entire team. So, I chose team sports for a reason because I love having teammates and I love sharing those experiences with those guys. And I love seeing those guys reach their potential. And I think for an older athlete like myself, so much of the enjoyment comes from me helping others too. So that's probably why I'm still doing it. It's not about, me, Tom Brady. It's about us, the Bucs, and what we can accomplish. And, we just got to go finish the deal. So it's been a great year thus far. I've learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about my teammates. But we've got a chance now to go accomplish the ultimate goal. And we're 4 quarters away. And it's going to take great effort. We're playing a great team, another team that I think has a lot of those things and they're doing it the right way. And it's going to be a great challenge.
You're the greatest, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll go to OCU Manura.
My guy.
What's up, Tom? How you?
I'm happy I'm not playing you this weekend.
Man, that's awesome, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Good talking to you, man.
Man, it's really good talking to you too, man. Now I got to be completely honest with you, Tom. I was one of the people who said, some of this guy's success has been down to being in New England and being with Coach Bill Belichick, but you have absolutely obliterated that narrative, man. And I'm so happy to see you, and I'm happy to see what you've done down there in Tampa. Let me just get that out the way first.
You're coming clean. Is that what's going on?
Exactly what's going on, man. I'm coming clean. But now, obviously, there's a guy who you're going to be going up against. People talk about it's you against Patrick Mahomes, but it's really not. It's you against that Kansas City Chiefs defense. And the guy who's the defensive coordinator was the guy who was the defensive coordinator in 2007 with the New York Giants. How do you feel about that? And, are there any differences or similarities between the two teams that you're about to go face?
That 2007 game was one of my least favorite football memories, just so you know. And partly because I had a lot of you on top of me with grass stains on my back, you and Trey and Justin. And, you guys had a great defense, and you guys were an incredible opponent that day, and you guys deserved to win. So it's tough. I think Spags runs a great scheme, and I think he really caters to the strength of his players. And I think his scheme's evolved different times, and I played him several times over the last, 13, 14 years. He's got, I think he's a tremendous coach, and everyone seems to love to play for him. And it's a tough game. So I know he's going to have those guys ready to go. They'll be prepared. They got a lot of great players on that defense, a lot of veterans, a lot of guys who really understand football. Obviously, the moment's not too big for those guys. They've been on the biggest stage last year, and they played a great game and beat the Niners to win last year's Super Bowl. So it's going to be pretty tough. And we'll be up for the challenge. It's going to be a great game. I look forward to it. Still got 6 days to prepare, and then we'll go cut it loose, see what we can accomplish.
And I appreciate you, Tom. I'm really rooting for you guys, man. Go do it.
Thanks, OC. Appreciate it, man. Great talking to you.
We'll go over to Rick Stroud. Rick? All right. We'll go over to Adam Teicher from ESPN.
Hey, Tom, a couple Tyrann Mathieu questions. Have you come across a lot of defenders in your time with his kind of versatility? and knowing where he is at the snap, is it any more important than any other Chiefs defender?
Yeah, it's very important. Really love Tyron as a player, and competed against him. Saw him in college. Loved his game. Got drafted by the Cardinals. An incredible, talented player. Great leader. Loves football. Is a student of the game. I could tell he watches a lot of film. He's in on the quarterback. He wants to know what that quarterback's doing. And there's a lot of versatility. He played corner in college, played safety, played nickel. So he can cover guys, can cover tight ends, can cover receivers, can blitz. So he's just one of those incredibly talented players that can really do it all. And I think you definitely, as a quarterback, better be aware of where he's at, or else he'll change the game. And I really love him as a player. I think he's got great ball hawking ability. He seems like he's always comes up with the biggest plays in the biggest moments. He's got 7 interceptions this year. So you better believe I'll have an idea where he's at on every play, because I'm not going to let him just, roam around and make a bunch of plays. I'm sure he'll make his fair share, but hopefully I can keep the ball out of his hands.
We'll go over to Sal Palantonio. Sal?
I got you, Tommy. It's Sal.
Hey, Sal. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing great.
Tom, take me back to New Orleans. Your first Super Bowl. I was in that lobby waiting for you to come down, and Bill Belichick deciding that you were going to be the starting quarterback in that Super Bowl. And did you ever think in that moment that your life and your career would end like this, or would happen like this?
I mean, I could never imagine it would be like this. And I don't think anybody could have. I would just say a lot of it is, the only reason you can, look at my career and get to the point where I've gotten was because of the people that I've had in my life, my coaches, teammates, family, friends, all the people that have supported me. And, it's been an incredible team effort throughout my life, on the field and off the field. And I tried to represent everybody the best possible way, tried to go play my ass off, every week. And, I'm still trying to do it. So, sport for me has never been about, I would never have thought, hey, success is, hey, passing yards or touchdowns or Super Bowls. It was always, again, trying to maximize my potential and being the best I could be. And when I showed up as a freshman in high school, didn't know how to put pads in my pants. I was just hoping to play high school football because I wanted to be like Joe Montana and Steve Young. And then when I got a chance in college, I just wanted to play at Michigan. And then when I got drafted to the Patriots, I just wanted to play. I just wanted to start. And it's just been a series of steps like that try to be a little better every year, try to learn a little bit more every year, try to grow and evolve in different areas. And my life's taken certainly a lot of different directions. I'm obviously older now, got a family, and, a lot of incredible blessings in my life. And, fast forward 21 years and sitting in Tampa trying to go out and play a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl in our own home stadium, which would be pretty sweet.
What message would you give to Bill Belichick on this week as you prepare for this game?
Well, I have a great relationship with him. And again, I'm just incredibly grateful for, what he's meant in my life as a coach. And he was everything you could ask for as a player. And, I love my time. I had 2 incredible decades there. And, my football journey took me to a different place. And I certainly could never have accomplished the things in my career without his support and his teachings, and incredible coach and mentor for me. And I've had a lot of those in my career, but obviously he's at the top of the list.
All right, we'll go to Sarah Walsh.
Hi, Tom. I'm just curious, you were talking about the experience and how you try to help others. And if you could go back to Tom Brady's Super Bowl 1, what you didn't know then compared to Tom Brady Super Bowl 10, what would Tom Brady Super Bowl 10 tell that kid back in that first Super Bowl that was suiting up to play?
Well, it's a long time ago. I think what you realize, and obviously having more perspective than I did at that time, it's a tough journey to get here, and you just got to enjoy the process of the week, and win or lose, you just got to lay it all on the line. I think it's a great game to play in because everyone's watching. It's a tough game to lose. Let me say that. So I've had some really tough losses in this game. Those stick with you for a long time. I've had some incredible wins, and I'd much rather be in the game than not be in the game. That's for sure, because the only way to win it is to be in it. But it's a pretty tough if you lose it. So you got to do everything you can to prepare yourself for what you're going to face. And we're facing a great team, offensively, defensively, really well coached. Got a great kicker, a great punter. So it's a tough game. It's a tough matchup, but we'll be prepared. We'll be ready to go.
We're going to go over to Panini Kid reporter Caleb Byrne.
Hi, Mr. Brady. Thank you so much and congrats.
Thank you, Caleb. Appreciate it. How old are you?
I'm 12 years old, sir.
Way to go, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. So 2020 has been a absolutely insane year. The reason I am not at the Super Bowl actually on Sunday, but have you been able to find anything good in this crazy 2020 year?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think there's a lot of good to take from, tough circumstances, tough situations. And I think last year for me was obviously spent a lot more time at home with my family and less travel, and probably understood more of what the most important things in my life were. And I got to really focus on what my job was, my career, got to really focus on my kids, my family. And those are two of the most important things in my life. So it's a good question. I think there's always, anytime there's tough circumstances, it's great opportunities to grow. And I think if I look at my life and all the things that have been the most challenging things in my life, that's where the areas where I grew the most and I learned the most. So I'm grateful for those moments. I know we don't always want to go through them, but at the same time, when you do go through them and you come out the other side, you could be a much better person, much more aware of the blessings that you have in your life, and then try to, as you move forward in your life, understand that, we're always going to be here to learn and grow and, be better each and every day.
We'll go to Jenna Lane. Jenna? All right, we'll go over to Tom Rock.
Jenna's on a different Zoom.
Tom, I have two questions, if I could. The first one is, as what signs are you looking for to tell you that it's time to walk away? And do you think that the pull of family will be stronger than any diminished abilities in this game? And the second question is to follow up on Sal's point a little earlier. Have you heard from Bill this week?
So I when to walk away, that's a good question. I think I'll know when it's time. So I don't know when that time will come, but I think I'll know, and I'll understand that I gave everything I could to get to this game. So, you put a lot into it. I don't think I can ever go at this game half-assed. I got to put everything into it. So when I put it all out there, I feel like I can't do that anymore. I don't feel like I can commit to the team in the way that the team needs me. Then I think that's probably time to walk away.
All right, we're going to go over to Karen Garesian.
Hey, Tom.
Hi, Karen. How you doing?
I'm well. Good to see you. I
Nice
know
to
you can't see me, but
No, it's up with this crazy media day. I'm sitting here in an empty room. This is very different than the other 9 experiences.
yeah. I'm wondering, that first Super Bowl, you guys clearly weren't favored in that game, and I can't recall a Super Bowl since that you've been an underdog. I'm wondering if you like that role or you like going in as the favored team.
It doesn't matter what other people think about, our chances or their chances, or I think there's a lot of those things that I leave those up to other people, and who's ever putting those lines down. I just think about what I got to do and how I got to get ready to play. So I know that's important for a lot of other people, who's favored, who's not. And, I think for me, I realize if you don't play great, you're not going to win. If you play great, you got a great chance. So, at the end of the day, it's not about what other people think. It's about what we think, how we prepare, and how we play. So there's really no use for me thinking about those other things.
Go to Nancy Armour.
Hey, Tom. I've got two questions for you. First is, when you look at Patrick Mahomes, he's only 25, second Super Bowl. He's bought into the Royals. What kind of an impact do you think he can have both in and outside the NFL throughout his career? And then the second question is, last week, Shannon Sharpe said that you probably would have gotten more criticism for your support of Donald Trump during the 2016 presidential election if you had been a Black athlete. And I'm just wondering your response to that.
Which question would you like answered first?
That is up to you.
So is the first one which was the first one?
What kind of influence do you think Mahomes can have both in and outside the NFL, given everything he's already done at 25?
Yeah, he's done an incredible job. And, I really admire Patrick for the kind of player he is. He has great command of his team. I know his teammates love playing with him. He's got great charisma. And I think when I see Patrick, I see someone who, again, was, none of these moments are too big for him. And the times that I've had a chance to talk to him off the field, certainly enjoyed it. And he's a great player. I know it's still early in his career, but what he accomplishes ultimately is going to be up to him. He's got great opportunities, got a great skill set. Like all of us as young players, you want to be surrounded by people that help you grow, that help you become, better as a player. Off the field, people that you surround yourself with that help you better as a person. And, all those things are going to be up for him to decide, what choices he's going to make. So I really admire him. I think he's a tremendous player, great leader, big time performer, always seems to play the best when his team needs it the most. And just incredibly impressed by him. And then the second one?
Yeah, the second was Shannon Sharpe said last week that he thinks that you probably would have gotten more criticism for your having the hat in the locker in 2015 for Trump had you been a Black athlete, or basically that Black athletes aren't given as much room to weigh in on political topics and topics that could be controversial. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts are in response to that.
I'm not sure how to, respond to, hypothetical questions like that. I hope everyone can, we're in this position like I am to, again, try to be the best I could be every day as an athlete, as a player, as a person in my community, for my team and so forth. So, yeah, I'm not sure what else. All right.
We'll go over to James Palmer.
Thank you.
Tom, there was a lot of talk in a negative fashion about you and Bruce being different and your look at offenses maybe being different. But what did you learn and grow with from an offensive mindset about the way Bruce looks at offensive football? I'm kind of curious what you really liked about the way he did it and what you maybe didn't know beforehand and know now.
Well, I think anytime you meet someone who has a different, BA's coached for a long time, and I think I was in one place for a certain period of time. He had a coaching career. And then when you can bring, kind of two versions together, I can look at a lot of those things and learn a lot of those things. And I think I, definitely did that. And, try to understand how he sees the game, how Byron sees the game, because Byron has his own approach. And I work really closely with Byron. Then I have a lot of other quarterbacks on the team like Blaine and Ryan that have been a part of some different systems. So it's been fun over the course of the year to learn about different things, about different ways to handle, different situations and kind of how I would have handled things in the past or how we handle things now. But ultimately, it's about not always being in agreement, but being in alignment. Ultimately, when you take the field and the approach. So, you have to be 100% on the same page on game day, which we have been. And how we get to that point is great conversation, great learning for me. And ultimately just going out there. And again, when game day comes, you got to put, it's more reactive than anything else, and just try to go out there and perform well. And based on whatever's called, try to go out and execute as best I possibly can.
We're going to go to Play 60 Kid, Amaya Brandon. Amaya? All right. 1 second. We're going to go over to Karen Loftus from WFLA.
Hey, Tom, you gave your offensive linemen some very nice IWC watches before the Packers game. Some of them posted them to their Instagram stories. What was the sentiment behind maybe the timing of that before the NFC Championship, and how impressed have you been with them just stepping up, shuffling around, dealing with some injuries, and continuing to protect you and give you the time you need?
Yeah, it's just a small token of my appreciation for what they do. And, they're very unheralded. Offensive line usually doesn't get mentioned unless something bad goes wrong. But, those guys have worked their tails off. There's a lot of guys who've been in and out of the lineup. Had different guys step in at different times. Donnie, Allie, Ryan, Cap, and Tristan have done a great job. Joe Haig's come in at different times. AQ. Stinny's done a great job coming in. Josh Wells has done a great job. So it's a great group. I have a lot of trust and confidence in those guys, and they performed well as the season went along. They were originally Christmas gifts, but I couldn't get them delivered in time. So there was no, whenever they got delivered, they got delivered. It just took a little longer based on kind of some of the things being shut down in Europe. But I'm just appreciative of those guys for their commitment. And it's a great group of guys. Great line coaches, Joe Gilbert, Harold Goodwin. Goody I've known for 25 years. He was one of my teammates at Michigan. So we've had a lot of time. We've had a lot of time to communicate over the last 6 months. And we're going to need to play our best game. So this would be a great time to do it in the biggest game of the year.
We're going to go to Darren Smith from ESPN Kansas City. Darren? All right. 1 second. We'll go to the next person.
Darren on a different Zoom too. So hard to follow, I'm sure.
There's a lot of folks.
I bet.
We'll go over to Grace Remington.
Hey, Tom. We all saw that really touching moment with your son, Jack, after the NFC Championship game. I was wondering, your kids, they see dad is so good at his job. At this point, what do you hope they take away from your work? And do they like the spotlight, or do they still get embarrassed by dad?
That's a good question. I think that's one of the things that's changed over the years for me. I started when I was 23 and had no kids. And then, my Jack was born in 2007. So he's, 13 now. He's been a part of a lot of seasons, successful and unsuccessful. And, I think to them, I'm just dad. So, I know their life is different, based on the one that I grew up in. Their dad gets a lot of attention for different things. I think that has some challenges for them. Certainly, things maybe at school that get said, good and bad. I think there's some different challenges that they face that they're going to have to navigate in their life. And I love being their dad. I try to be the best I could be for them. They don't certainly get as much time during the year, during the football season as I'd like, but the off season's coming, so I'll get a chance to spend more time with them. But, they think their dad's, I don't know what they think of their dad. Probably have to figure that out. But, my daughter's pretty supportive. I can see why, dads like having daughters, because she's pretty special, that one.
We'll go to Blair Tedette from the BBC.
Hi, Tom. So obviously this year is so different. But on top of it all, there aren't going to be fans at the game. I mean, there's been a lot of it leading up to this. There have been so many differences. How is this going to be different for you personally compared to the last 9 Super Bowls you've been to? And how have you prepared differently for this game?
I think the football preparation's been easier. There's definitely, in a lot of ways, actually my family's been out of town for the last 6 days. They're not coming back in town until Saturday. So I really had an empty house for, will be 12 days leading up to the game. That's the most prep I've ever had. Could really focus on what I need to do from a football standpoint, have time to get my body right. There's been no travel for our team where it's a home game. That's very different. We stay at our own home. That's very different. You don't have to eat hotel food for a week. That's very different. The stadium will be, 25,000 people. That'll be different. So a lot of the non-football stuff I'd say is entirely different. The football has been, I would say, helpful for me. I love the preparation of it. I think for me, the more I study, the more I watch, the more I understand, the more information I can, process, the better it is for me. So in that aspect, I love having the 2 weeks that we have, and with 6 days left, it'll go really quickly. But I'm going to use it as best I can. Try to be as physically prepared, as much time with my body coach Alex Guerrero as possible, as much time studying film as possible, and then not wasting any energy and being prepared for a long day on Sunday, because it's a long day of football. But we got to be at our best.
We're going to go back to Amaya Brandon from Play 60. See if her microphone's working. All right, we're going to go over to Joey Knight from the Tampa Bay Times. Joey, you there?
Just speaking more on just this being a unique Super Bowl. I mean, in your own home, waking up in your own bed, just being able just to go home after work. Just how different is all that?
It's all different. It's all very unique to this year only. So it's I'm kind of going through it just like everyone else is. It's not like we were all obviously hoping we could get to this point. It took a lot to get to this point, a lot of great wins at the right time to get in the position that we're in. But again, I don't have any perspective on this one. This is the first time we've ever had a chance to do the things that we're doing. So I'm happy I'm in my own bed. I'm happy I'm eating good stuff at home. I'm happy had extra time to prepare. Don't have to travel. Don't have to pack my clothes, pack up all my other crap. So in our own locker room, in our own practice field, going to be in our own locker room. So in the end, I think there's some real positives to take from it.
Go to Richard Grave from Sky Sports News.
Hi, Tom. I've got a follow-up as well, if I can. But first of all, in the last week especially, we've heard just how much it meant to Patrick Mahomes that 2 years ago you took the time to talk to him after the championship game. I wonder, what have you seen in him in the intervening 2 years? And in your eyes, what is it that makes him such a special player?
I think he's only elevated from that point on. I think that year he was MVP of the league. And then, the year after that, last year, he came back, got off to a great start, dealt with some injuries last year. I know he separated his kneecap. That's a pretty tough injury, but fought through that. Didn't have the same statistical year as he had in 2018, but, goes on to win Super Bowl MVP. And, that's an amazing accomplishment to win MVP in 18, win the Super Bowl in 19, and then this year have the kind of year that he had, which is probably more similar to the year that he had in 2018. And I just think he's just going to keep improving. I think he's, I don't know him that well. I know obviously quite a few people that do know him, and they say great things about Pat. And the times that I've been around him, I really enjoy the time. He's got a great maturity about him. He's, again, great leader. He's got great charisma. Again, I think it always speaks a lot when the players that he plays with say great things about him. And it looks like all those guys on the Chiefs, they love that Pat's the leader. He's got great relationship with his receivers. I think that always says a lot. And I think there's a lot of things that make him a great player. Obviously, his physical skill set, but I think he's got the ability to focus when the moments are the biggest and to deliver for his team. So that's probably the mark of any great athlete, is coming through in the clutch. And I think he's off to a great start in his career doing that.
And obviously back in week 12, you witnessed firsthand just how explosive this Chiefs offense can be. I wonder to what extent does that affect your game plan and the way you approach the game?
They're an explosive offense. They got they got a lot of explosive players. Tyreek's, what an incredible career he's had to this point. Travis Kelce, I think so much of Travis as a player. He's another great player they have. Some really talented running backs, Le'Veon, the rookie, Clyde Hilaire, I think that's how you say it. Great young player. Sammy Watkins, McCole Hardman's great player. Sammy Watkins is a hell of a player. So they're very talented offensively. Obviously, Patrick, the plays he can make. So, yeah, they're explosive. We're going to have to score points. I mean, we're not going to shut them out. I know that. They're going to gain plenty of yards, and I'm sure they're going to score points. So we just got to be able to match it. We got to go out there and play great. We're going up against a defense that, again, they make a lot of plays. They're very explosive, too, on defense. So that's why they're in this game. That's why they won it last year. They're one of the great teams in the NFL.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
We're going to go to Jenna Lane. About 5 minutes left.
Hey, Tom. Two questions. Hope that's okay. The first one, all of us that watch you on a daily basis have seen how much fun it looks like you're having. You're playing at such a high level. You said a few minutes ago, you'll know when it's time to walk away. You've also said in the past you want to play until 45. Would you consider playing beyond 45, especially with the way you're playing right now?
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely consider that. And, again, I think, it's a physical sport, and just the perspective I have on that is, you never know kind of when, that moment is, just because it's a contact sport and there's a lot of training that goes into it. And again, it has to be 100% commitment from myself to keep doing it. So, been very fortunate, like I said, over the years. Alex and I work really hard at, making sure physically I can still prepare, perform at perform at my best, because, you take different hits, you take different, over the course of the year, deal with different bumps and bruises, different injuries and so forth. So, it's just going to be me continuing to make that commitment to making it part of my year-round process to play football and continue my career. So definitely.
And Patrick is trying to do something that you did in 03 and 04, winning back-to-back Super Bowls. It is so hard. What makes it such a challenge to do that?
I think what makes it such a challenge, it's hard to win one Super Bowl. So to win two is, way tougher than that. And obviously, has anyone ever done three? I don't think anyone's ever done three. So that just is something that's, it's difficult because it's tough to win one Super Bowl. Every year, it's 32 teams at it. Every team can only spend the same amount of money. Everyone drafts, that everything's meant to be 8-8, and their salary caps. You just can't go buy a football team. You have to develop players, develop processes, and, put good processes in place so you can be consistently, great football team. And our coaches have done that here. When I got here, is part of the reason why I came here is because there was a lot of great things that were here. Great coaching staff, great players. I felt like I could come in and really help the team win. And, this is what we all hope to get to this point in the season, which we have. And now we got to go try to finish it off.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.
Our last one will come from Josh Dubo from the Associated Press.
Hey, Tom, are there things in Patrick's game that you as a fellow quarterback look at and say, man, I wish I could do that?
Definitely. I think, he's an incredible playmaker. Got great arm, great athleticism. He's got a great feel in the pocket. I think he does a great job knowing kind of when he needs to let go of the ball. He does a great job kind of retreating in the pass rush, and they don't really get home. And then he's got a nice release where he can, just backpedal and then flick the ball off, his back foot with incredible accuracy. So I don't think there's a play that he doesn't think he can't make, that he can't make. I think he thinks he can make every play, which tells you the kind of confidence that he has in his own game. So, I think, for me, it's just, watching those younger players, appreciating some of the things they do. And, always trying to improve my game any way I can.
All right. That's all for today. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.